Welcome to News Weekend, a quick roundup of Catholic news from around the region.
As the year came to a close, Pope Francis announced the appointment of 4 bishops for India. The Holy Father appointed Bishop Vincent Ainde, 68, of Bagdogra, as Archbishop of Ranchi in the eastern Indian state of Jharkhand. The Pontiff also appointed Bathal Barreto, 62, Auxiliary Bishop of Bombay, as Bishop of Nashik. The Pope appointed Father Peter Rumal Kharadi, 64, currently Diocesan Administrator of Jhabua, as the new Bishop of Jhabua, in Madhya Pradesh. Pope Francis named Father Bernard Lancy Pinto, 60, presently Parish Priest of St. Michael's Church, Mahim, Mumbai, as the Coadjutor Bishop of Aurangabad, a diocese in Maharashtra.
On the 27th of December 2023, the Guwahati Solidarity Forum for Manipur, with the Assam Christian Forum, organized a Solidarity and Thanksgiving Fellowship for displaced persons from Manipur. The displaced community members from Manipur prayed and thanked God for keeping them in His mercy and giving them hope for the future by providing them shelter and helping their children find admission through the solidarity shown by numerous institutions. Members of ACF and GSFM assured the displaced community of their continued support and solidarity. The event was held at the MSFS Center, Sathgaon, and was sponsored by the Madhya Diocese Delhi through the Madhya Church Guwahati. The gifts for the children were sponsored by the Mar Gregorio's Orthodox Church, Guwahati. This coming together truly encapsulated the ecumenical spirit and the need of the hour.
You are watching News Weekend. Catholic news events from near and far away.
At least 140 people were killed, and others are missing, after a series of attacks by gunmen on remote villages in north-central Nigeria's Plateau State.
I there at home, just like this, and these Fulani people just came, start to shoot gun.
Officials and survivors confirmed the Christmas Eve attacks and blamed the killings on the farmer-head crisis in the West African nation. They said the military gangs, locally called bandits, launched well-coordinated attacks in not fewer than 20 different communities and torched houses on Saturday and Sunday. Gunfire was still heard on Christmas morning.
2023 is a year to forget in Plateau State, security-wise, as the cries of the bereaved rent the air. This is Adukwal district of Bassa local government area in just North Plateau State, where no less than 8 people were killed and 3 others injured by unidentified assailants. 2 children of Danjuma Avu were murdered in this attack.
I thought we had been able to understand each other and we have achieved peace on the plateau. We have started receiving commendations. But the devil's work that happened on the eve of Christmas cannot be explained because it is unprovoked. Nobody here has touched anybody.
Amnesty International's Nigeria office told the Associated Press that it has so far confirmed 140 deaths in the Christian majority Bokos and Barkanladi areas of Plateau, based on data compiled by its workers on the ground and from local officials.
You see, we are here, myself and contingents of service chiefs and Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, and we are here to see the first-hand information of what is going on in Plateau State, and we were being briefed by the GOC on what is happening. But as you know, it has happened, so we are here to commiserate with the families, the government, and the people of Plateau State of what happens, and to assure them that Mr. President has ordered the military personnel to fish out those marauders and to deal with them decisively.
You are the people's army. When they send a distress call to you, you must respond. And you must respond as quickly as possible. Is that clear? Yes, sir! Even when you respond, you must give them a feedback on what you have done.
So Mr. President has asked us to come to Plateau State and see what's on ground. He has also directed that we immediately deploy relief materials in terms of mattresses, clothes, food items, and other personal effects that they would need while they are being displaced, while we provide a more durable solution for them to go back to their ancestral homes. We'll be working with the military very closely, sending humanitarian relief team. They would be on ground in Plateau State for the next 1 month, and we are very hopeful that they would be able to take care of the needs of those who were displaced while we try to resettle them.
Jeff King joins us now. Jeff, thank you for this important work, for raising the awareness on this. You're right. Most Christians are mostly unaware of the level of persecution around the world. Where are we with Christian persecution right now?
Well, I would say it's persistent, it's pervasive, it's proliferating, it's growing. And, you know, just as an example, I would say look to Nigeria. You know, hardly anybody knows Nigeria in the last 20 years, probably upwards of 100,000 Christians have been killed. 3.5 million Christian farmers lost their lands. And this is at the hands of radical Islam. And that's a lot of the story that's going on around the world that the press generally doesn't report.
Talk to me about the status of the underground church in countries like Iran and China.
Well, that's probably the most exciting thing. One of the things I most like to talk about, that so often persecution breeds growth in the church. And the church in China, the church in Iran are exploding, especially in Iran. It's the fastest growing church in the world. And that's in spite of, 40 years of absolute terror, of repression, murder of the pastors and the Christians as a whole. It's an amazing story.
The fastest growing church in the world is in Iran?
That is true. And here's the other thing is the mosques are fairly empty, except for the old. The mosques are empty. Christianity has exploded, and that's all because of radical Islam and what they've done for decades.
Interesting.
Catholic News Weekend. We bring you news and views from all over.
I read another news, and that came from Madhya Pradesh. District education officer called Vivek Dubey wrote a letter to all the schools saying that, listen, school, no allowing children to participate in Christmas events. Proviso, they can participate, but after having a written permission from their parents. Their parents should write and say that my child is allowed to participate in Christmas celebration. My child is allowed to dress like Santa Claus. My child is allowed to take part in the Christmas event. Only then can you allow a child to participate in Christmas event. Else, we will take strict action against you, Mr. School, if you do that. Children not allowed to participate in Christmas event? What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? And you know the difference here? The difference here is, but what is happening in India is done by a part of the government. The government of Madhya Pradesh. The education department reports to the government of Madhya Pradesh. Government of Madhya Pradesh reports to the government of India. So it is part of the government that is doing this kind of activity of writing letters saying that ask her father to sign. Only then you can participate in a Christmas event. In fact, according to an article in Hindu, this gentleman, Mr. Dubey, he clarified saying that we have received complaint from parents in the past about school not taking their permission before Christmas programs. So this time we have asked schools to take written permission from parents if students from other religion take part in events. So they said no, we have got written complaints from parents, so we are taking this step. Clarifying that there is no restriction on conducting the program, he said that the department has requested the school not to involve students from other religion in such an event. If it is necessary, then they have to take permission from their parents. Till now, I was speaking to you about a government officer writing the letter saying that parents were complaining. Now let me show you the new Madhya Pradesh. This is a Bajrang Dal worker warning schools saying, listen, no celebrating Christmas. Just hear it.
क्रिसमस के कार्यक्रम हिंदू बच्चों से कराए जा रहे थे, जिसमें बच्चों को संता बनता ऐसा क्रिश्चियन धर्म के अनुसार हिंदू बच्चों को रोल अदा करने के लिए स्कूल प्रबंधन द्वारा प्रेरित किया जा रहा था। 3-4 दिन से शिकायत मिल रही थी। आज हम लोग जब कार्यक्रम चल रहा था, उसी बीच में सूचना मिली कि आप लोगों द्वारा कुछ यहाँ आपत्ति नहीं की गई, तो हम बजरंग दल के लोगों को सूचना मिली, हम लोग इसमें आपत्ति कर प्रशासन को सूचना दे करके आपत्ति करने आए हैं कि हिंदू बच्चों को गैर हिंदू शिक्षा न दी जाए, उनसे सिर्फ हिंदू भगवान, हिंदू धर्म ग्रंथों के बारे में बताया जाए। और इसी बात को लेके हम लोग स्कूल प्रबंधन के सामने आपत्ति दर्ज कराने के लिए आए हैं। प्रशासन को भी हमारी इसकी ओर से सूचना हुई है। यदि इसी प्रकार के कार्यक्रम होते रहेंगे तो आगामी दिनों में हम इस विरोध को उग्र करेंगे।
He very clearly says that, listen, you know what? You should not be making Hindu children celebrate Christmas, and we are not going to allow it. We are telling you now, if you don't follow suit, we will make it more ugra, which means we will be more aggressive. I'll also show you a clip of a teacher. Have a look.
नमस्कार, मैं अनामिका सिंह रामकृष्ण ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन से। यहाँ पर बजरंग दल के हमारे बंधु आए थे, जिन्होंने सेलिब्रेशन के लिए मना किया। तो आपको जानकारी दे दूं कि हमारे पास कोई ऑफिशियली नोटिस नहीं आया था। व्हाट्सएप में जो भी आया, मैंने रात को 12:30 बजे देखा। सुबह मैंने अपने मैनेजमेंट हेड को सूचित किया, उन्होंने सारे ब्रांच में बताया कि कोई सेलिब्रेशन नहीं होगा। चूंकि कल दोपहर में ये नोटिस जा चुका था, हर साल हम करते थे सेलिब्रेशन, लेकिन इस बार जब ये आया तो हमने उसका पालन किया है और किसी तरह का कोई सेलिब्रेशन नहीं हुआ।
The second clip that you saw was of this teacher saying that we have been doing Christmas events for years, but we never knew that we were not supposed to do it. Now since this Bajrang Dal gentleman comes and tells us that you cannot do it, we will stop doing it. I have two questions. I have two questions to the government of India and government of Madhya Pradesh. Who runs government of Madhya Pradesh? Does Bajrang Dal run government of Madhya Pradesh? Will Bajrang Dal decide what is the education, what are the rules for education department of Madhya Pradesh? Is that how the future of Madhya Pradesh and future of India going to be? I ask the government of India, what are you going to do about this? Is this how a state is going to act? And are you going to be a mute spectator? Why are we seeing all of this now? Why didn't we see this in India maybe before 2014? I remember when we were kids, it was natural. A lot of us used to do that and nobody would mind. In fact, they would love it. They would come and take pictures. Why? Why is this? How is this division all of a sudden relevant, and how could a state government allow such a circular to exist where you say that don't participate in somebody else's joy? You see, I am not only going to blame the government, while I do blame the government because government allowed such a circular to go, but I'm also going to blame us. Us. Clear evidence of us changing as a society. Clear evidence of us changing and being more fanatic. Clear evidence of us being intolerant.
Pope Francis has conferred the title, Knight of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of Saint Sylvester, Pope and Martyr, on Lawrence John Sinaya, from Malaysia, for his contributions to social communication. The title was bestowed through the Prefect of the Dicastery for Communication, Dr. Paolo Ruffini, in Bangkok. Knight of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of Saint Sylvester is one of the 5 orders of knighthood, awarded directly by the Pope. Lawrence John is the former Vice President of Cygnes for 2 mandates and a former President of Cygnes Asia.
Canara Communication Center, CCC, a Catholic communication institute in Mangalore, launched an enlightening workshop on artificial intelligence, AI, for educators and religious leaders. The workshop, titled AI Empowerment for Educators and Religious Leaders, Unleashing Productivity and Expertise, was held on 29 December 2023 at CCC in court premises, Mangalore.
That's all we have for today. Look out for our next roundup of Catholic news soon.